Hi guys and welcome to my channel. For today's video we are doing a Trash to Treasure hosted by Sonja from Domestic Diva and Jelena from the Blondie Next Door. Thank you guys for hosting. If you haven't checked out their channels, please check them out. I will have the link below as well as the playlist to this challenge. They produce some great videos, so please go check them out. For me today, I am doing this chair that I'm making over. I had originally purchased it at Value Village for $5 about a year and a half ago, and I haven't done anything with it. It looks okay, but it is kind of dirty, and so I just want to completely redo it so that way I can use it. So what I'm going to start doing is actually taking the whole chair apart. I am taking the cushion out as well as reupholstering it, and I'll be painting it too. But so let's start with taking it apart. So I'm just flipping the chair over here, and you have to use a screwdriver to unscrew the seat part. So as you can see, that's what I'm doing there. So once you've taken the seat cushion part off, the chair should look like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the staples out. I just used a screwdriver and some pliers. If there's any easier way, please do let me know. What I had to do was, for the sake of time, is just rip this fabric off just to show you what the cushion looks like underneath. And then what I did with the cushion is I just ripped it off, and I did this outside because it was really, really dusty, and it was glued on there. So I ripped it off, and then I had to sand down the wood because just the edges were glued on. Then I took this dust cover off, and I'm not putting it back on. It's dirty. It looks like it got wet at some point. And the reason I am actually taking the staples out is because they were rusty. So I did not want my new fabric getting rusty, if that makes sense on the other side. I don't know. I just took them out. Maybe you don't have to. If you have any tips, please do let me know. This is my first time reupholstering a chair. I had also gotten this foam at Walmart a while ago, and so I'm just going to cut it out to fit my chair. As you can see, that's the wood that I've sanded down. So I'm just using an X-Acto knife to cut the foam. It's pretty close to the shape. I mean, the chair has a few curves in it, so maybe at the front it's not quite the same as the other one, but I think it turned out pretty good. It's a thick cushion. I tested it out. I sat on it, and it seems to be comfy, so it should work. The fabric that I chose was a blue fabric that I had from my mother-in-law, and I was going to use the old fabric to measure it, but then I decided to just use the actual chair to measure it, and I cut it quite big because I was worried about not having enough and then not being able to actually do it and wasting fabric. So I'm using anniesloan Coco. It's a chalk paint. I love anniesloan paint, and it is very forgiving. And the trick with it is just to do random brush strokes so it looks all uniform. And like I said, it's so forgiving you can't even make a mistake. I just had to do 4 coats. That's the only drawback. Now the 4 coats you can kind of see maybe from here. It just wasn't covering the white, so I just did a whole bunch of coats. For the wax, I used this brush that I think I got either at Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm pretty sure it was Lowe's. And it is just whatever brand of wax brush. And I am using the Dark Wax by Annie Sloan. Again, I love Annie Sloan. So the dark wax I'm applying first. Normally I apply the light wax first, but I saw on Domestic Diva's channel, Sonja redid her tables and used Coco and the dark wax, and I love the way it turned out. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it that way. So thanks for inspiring me, Sonja. So like with the paint, with the wax, all you do is apply it liberally or as much as you want or as little, and you apply it in circles, and you kind of just go in, in all sorts of patterns, and then you use a cloth to wipe it off. I just used like a rag, so I think it was like an old pajama or whatever that I cut up. And so you basically put the wax on as much as you want, and then you wipe it off, and like that. So that way it really sets into the into the chair, into the paint, so that way you get that nice dark color. And like if you find once it's dry that you want it to be a bit darker, you can reapply it again and it'll make it just that much darker. Some people do like the edges, they would do a little bit darker to have it be a little bit more rustic. So it's really whatever you want. That's what I love about doing these projects using chalk paint and waxes, because it's very forgiving and usually it turns out great. I always love the way it turns out. Now you apply the clear wax basically the same way. You want to make sure you get the whole chair covered, because it is important that that you cover it, because it acts as a protection for the chair so that your paint doesn't chip off. So same thing, you apply it in random circles and you wipe it off and you buff it off nice, so that way it's a nice shiny finish. And here's the final product, the chair finish. That's the front. Here's the back. I love the way it turned out, and I love the way the blue looks with that. And it's in the corner here, and like I said, I love the way it turned out. If you like the way it turned out, if you liked my channel, if you want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. As well, check out the playlist below and see some of the talented ladies and gentlemen that are going to be participating in this challenge. And don't forget to check out Domestic Diva 76 and the Blondie Next Door. Thanks and have a great day.